In this video of 2 Meter Sessions Friends Around the World, I talk with British singer-songwriter Fink. He's stuck to his studio in Berlin. We talk about a lot of music.
Why have one drummer when you can have two? I remember it was Bon Iver who got me hooked on that concept, because I was like, how come Bon Iver's live show is so ridiculously kick-ass? If you're the new Patti Smith, you're going to do fine. But you better be the new Patti Smith. You can't be like a photocopy of a pop version of a 90s through a 90s lens of Patti Smith.
And of course, we talk about the effects of Corona on his life as a musician.
To actually have an empty diary can sometimes really freak you out, to go, what am I doing in August? You're not doing any festivals. What am I doing in September? You're not going to be in America. You know, it's like, it was a bit of a head spin at first to get my head around.
But also how he used this lockdown period to produce work from other musicians and new versions from his own work.
I'm developing a young musician here in Berlin as well, which has been great. And we're just about to release this Horizontalism Sessions, where I've taken my last Bloom Innocent record in the studio and I've completely reworked the whole thing. I've basically muted me.
And we talk about the many 2 Meter sessions that we recorded over the years with Fink.
So we rocked out of the bus in our bus pants, I think Tim was in his pajamas. Oh, shut up.
I have to check my battery, so hang on.
No probs. I'm loving this amp I've got. I've just fallen back in love with this amp, and I'm just like, I just can't get enough.
It sounds very Chicago-like.
It's so tasty.
American Chicago sound.
Fender 68 with a Gretsch is just like,
wonderful.
So nice. And it's got that real twang that you get from those kind of late 60s kind of... that kind of twangy twang vibe.
Yeah. Are you in Berlin?
I am, yeah, in Berlin. I'm in Berlin. It's a wet day, but it's all good. Just spinning a lot of plates, man, spinning a lot of plates. So today I'm spinning plates, yeah, as always in the studio. It's been good, but when you don't tour, you say yes to a lot of things that you ordinarily can't say yes to, and now got to do them.
Like this.
No. For you, dude, it's different. You're in a different category, but I mean, producing stuff. I'm producing records left, right, and centre at the moment, all in here. So
how do you look at this year so far?
Well, it's definitely different. It's been strange to be in one place for so long. Mm-hmm. It sounds almost like an Instagram thing to say, but I'm so used to traveling all the time. I love it. I really, really, really love it. I love meeting people. I love going to studios. I like playing music, and it's all just, I love doing gigs. It's perfect. Sagittarian life. And, on tour, it's a different city every day. And you get really into that sense of movement and travel. That's gone. And so to have been in one city for 6 months has been really, really weird. And I honestly, I can't remember the last time that was the case, going right back to my 20s, because, I was DJing in my 20s too, so I was always traveling at weekends. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I've stayed in one place for this long since college, probably. I don't know, since I was at university. It's just, it feels kind of bad to say it, and luckily everyone I know is okay. But I've actually really, after the initial kind of weird panic of, I wish I hadn't watched so many seasons of Walking Dead, I actually sort of got into a nice studio creative routine. It was very quiet. The city became very quiet. I could hear the birds in the morning instead of buses and taxis and police cars. And, you know, it became very quiet. The roads were empty. My journey to the studio took 10 minutes instead of half an hour. And I don't know, I just kind of enjoyed the isolation a little bit. I enjoyed slowing down.
Yeah, well, did you have the opportunity for the first time in a long time to enjoy Berlin on a bicycle? I mean...
Well, I mean, I actually ride to work in the summer anyway. Yeah. So I actually ride to the studio. It's 10K each way, but it's good cardio. And at my age, you know, you need all the cardio you can get. So, like, when it's a nice day, when it's sunny, I ride to my studio anyway. You know, yeah, the roads being empty, I don't know, everything was really weird. But the initial lockdown issue was, you know, touring. And we had to cancel, you know, festival season, European tour, American tour, Africa tour, which I couldn't wait to do. So, you know, we had to cancel a bunch of, you know, rent-paying shows, you know, in a way, and my African adventure, which we've been planning for years, which is like, you know, but also, you know, I did a solo American tour in the fall, solo acoustic tour. I loved it. So when I got back, the first thing I said to my agent, dude, book me another one. I was like, okay, cool. And so that was in the cards. We had to pull that. And the European tour to tour around my acoustic album, which came out in March, unfortunately didn't happen. So yeah, that's been strange how you manage the kind of, you know, the sort of the habit of going, what am I doing this year? Well, in September, you're on tour, and in October, you're in America, and in November, you're doing this, and in July, you're doing festivals, and in August, you're doing, and to actually have an empty diary is something that a musician can sometimes really freak you out to go, what am I doing in July? Whatever I want, as long as it's at home. What am I doing in August? You're not doing any festivals. What am I doing in September? You're not going to be in America. You know, it's like, it was a bit of a head spin at first to get my head around.
It's like blaming the block, sharpens the blade, cuts you to the bone, cuts you to the bone. Oh, yeah.
How does it affect you personally? I mean, you have to pay your rent, you have to eat.
Yeah.
Did it affect you personally, or?
It has a massive personal impact, because especially if you're like a creative who loves what you do, there is no separation between a day on and a day off. Your work-life balance is completely imbalanced. There's no difference between work and life. It's just smashed together. So therefore, when your work is affected, your life is deeply affected. And I know a lot of musicians that have suddenly found their inspiration is gone because of the issues that we now face. And other musicians where they look at, with the lack of touring, they're kind of like, that was how I survived. So what do I do if touring doesn't come back? Yeah. These thoughts have a massive impact on you personally. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a financial implication, of course, but you know, I think musicians are very good at being optimistic. I think we have to be incredibly naive to do what we do anyway, and you have to be a hopeless romantic and incredibly optimistic to think, I'm going to write a song and everything's going to be fine. That's kind of, you're already on the mad side of life already. So I think actually a lot of my creative friends are maintaining, as am I, this kind of, you know, optimistic, creative, naive, you know, everything's going to be great. Just got to do the right thing, you know.
Once you get a taste, once you get a taste, once you get a taste, you'll be back for more. For more.
What this lockdown's given me is like this time in the studio, in my studio. It's almost reintroduced the concept of producing to me again, because I didn't produce my own records. Floods produced my last 3-4 records. And because I wasn't on tour, I could say yes to lots of projects that I would ordinarily say, oh dude, I haven't got time, you know, or whatever, you know, I can't do it because I'm on tour. So it's meant I've connected with musicians I've wanted to work with for years. And I'm developing a young musician here in Berlin as well, which has been great. And we're just about to release this horizontalism sessions where I've taken my last Bloom-Innocent record in the studio and I've completely reworked the whole thing. I've basically muted me, and it's all instrumental and classical and orchestral and scored and arranged and all just beautiful stuff.
I have here quite a good memory that starts...
You've got a crazy good memory. What's that then?
June 21st,
oh, look at that.
2006.
That's crazy. Look at that.
10 songs that we recorded with Guy and Tim.
2006.
That's 3 takes of Biscuits, Camlin, City Lights. You play City Lights.
Oh, the Husky Rescue cover, I think that one. Oh my God.
Sorry I'm Late, Pretty Little Thing, Pills in My Pockets, All Cried Out. And before that, we did a live radio thing where you played 2 songs. And that was sort of a bad audio situation where you said we can do much better. So this one was the effect of the live radio thing, which wasn't too good. Not by you, but the whole technical setting was no good.
Oh, well, dude, I mean, how do you remember this stuff, man? How do you do it?
Well,
a lot of blueberries. They tell me that blueberries are great for improving memory. You must eat a bucket of them every day.
I tend to have a great memory for all the live recordings that we did because it's live recordings. It's like a great postcard from the studio.
Sure.
You and Tim and Guy are great memories, like in the small studio in Leroy in Amsterdam at the Prinsengracht. A studio over here.
Such a good sesh. No, I do remember that one. We did a cracking. Well, I remember that one mainly because nobody told us it was filmed because it was a 2-meter session, but this was before sessions were generally filmed. So we thought it was a radio session. So we rocked out of the bus in our like bus pants, like I think Tim was in his pajamas. And then we turned up, and then it was filmed, and we looked like we just got out of bed. We nailed a great version of Warm Shadow that day. Really cracking version of Warm Shadow.
What you got in store for me? Behind nose, eyes closed, next to me. And I don't want another day to break. Take all, steal all, night away. Won't shut up.
That was a great little spot, that studio. That really was cool.
And the version with Ruben Heijn at piano in 2014 of Shakespeare.
Gorgeous.
Very good.
Gorgeous session. I mean, we did a beautiful version of Sort of Revolution that day.
Yeah.
But we've never done the same since. So with Ruben, because working with Ruben was such a pleasure, man. I mean, and I'm really happy for him. He's now like, I don't know, he's even more Ruben than he was before. And I'm so happy for what he's done with his career. He's in such a great place right now.
Yeah.
He's doing so well, they're even giving him free cars. That's a sign. That's a good sign. You know, when BMW gives you a car, you're like, I must be doing something good right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that session was beautiful. That studio was ridiculous. I remember that. It was all, you were in the raised control room, like some real old school 60s style up in the corner. And it was all just wood and wood and wood. And, oh, God, it was gorgeous, that place.
And I learned nothing. I learned nothing. I learned nothing.
So how's the voice doing? Is it good?
Yeah, the voice is great. The voice is great. I've done a lot of singing, man. I've been doing a lot of these different projects that involve the voice, and a lot of singing and a lot of recording, and the voice is great. It's weird because we're actually putting together like a kind of like we're revisiting some of the old stuff, put it that way at the moment, some of the old stuff, and I'm having to move the keys of this old stuff because my voice has actually gone up weirdly rather than down. So I think I sung quite, no, it's got like my voice has definitely got more kind of like after I did this blues album with Flood, and it became all about more performance based.
Okay.
My voice definitely got more like power, but with power, I guess you just need a bit more. I had to raise some keys, which is kind of crazy to play something like Pills in my pockets, like three semitones up. You're just like, what? But I'm loving what I can do with my voice now compared to back in 2006, when I was still quite preoccupied with like, oh, the guitar has to be perfect, the playing has to be perfect, everything has to be right. And now I know that it might have taken me, 15 years to work it out, but it's actually about feeling it the most, giving it the most. It's not about it being perfect at all. Which is kind of weird because I was really besotted with John Martyn's Solid Air album. When we first met back in 05, 06, I was like completely besotted by that record. And I'm surprised I didn't pick up from loving that record that it's not about perfection. It's about emotional delivery and content. I'm surprised I didn't pick that up at the beginning because I was super, super preoccupied with everything being perfect. And
I was nervous to death when I met John Martyn in the studio.
I bet.
It was incredible on a Sunday morning. And he had a very short night, and I think he was still a bit drunk. So he came in the studio with a bad temper, and I want to do 3 songs for you. So he played 3 songs, but he felt like a very nasty man, angry man. But his singing was so great. It was so fucking great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I pulled an album out of the vaults the other day. It's this one. Too many records, JD. Too many records, man.
Yeah.
I don't know where it is now. Shame. The one he did after Solid Air. I'll never find it. I got a room of records in it.
The Danny Thompson album.
Yeah, it's got like a sunset on the front and an outline of his head. I think it's called Inside and Out or something like that. It's just crazy. All just ideas. It's all just ideas. And no kind of may you never, blah, 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 blah. None of that. It was all just weird, psychedelic, drunken madness. Yeah. It's strange, isn't it? When you meet your idols, it's a very dangerous thing because they can always do what you love them for. Like, oh my God, you just sung that song and you're amazing. But then personally, they might not be the kind of person that you like, and then it changes your relationship with them. But not the music. But
one more thing I'd like to talk about with you is that you worked with a lot of people and in a lot of concepts over the past 8 years, from orchestra to one drummer, two drummers, from blues to acoustic to electric, like chasing yourself a bit. It seems like I want to get as much experiences as possible.
Absolutely.
How was that after all?
Why have one drummer when you can have two? I remember it was Bon Iver who got me hooked on that concept, because I was like, how come Bon Iver's live show is so ridiculously kick-ass? And he had two, apart from the fact that he's amazing, but he had two drummers. And you think, okay, well, Bon Iver doesn't really strike me as a massive bloated prog rock band. It's quite densely emotional, rich music, but yet live, having two drummers just gives you like these two opportunities. And Nicky Hustings, the second drummer, a Dutch guy, fantastic Dutch drummer from Utrecht. I met him on a Ruben Hines session, and I could tell in Ruben Hines' eyes. I think he even might have said it to me on the session. Don't steal my drummer, by the way, because Nicky's playing is so good. I think we were recording in that Studio 130, that church in Hilversum, I think it is, or 150 or whatever that studio is called. And Nicky was awesome, and I just thought, Timmy is solid. Nicky is this new wave of modern drummers, and I'm like, okay, let's do some interesting stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just the fact that because I love music and everyone else's music too, I get influenced and I get pushed around like anyone else does. I mean, I also have a radio show every week, so I listen to the latest, trendiest, coolest indie music, and I'm constantly getting buffeted by the sound of New York, the sound of Chicago, the sound of Sydney, what's Toronto doing, the sound of Leeds, just like it's constant. And I get influenced by it. So one week I think electric is really amazing. The next week I'll hear a Ben Howard record and be like, I've got to be acoustic again. I think it's amazing. Or I'll hear like a underground, or I hear a Wise Blood album and think, I need to listen to Fleetwood Mac a bit more. Or I hear a Lana Del Rey track that I like, and I'll be like, why do I like that? It's so good. What's the secret in there? I'm still buying a lot of records. I still love buying records. I'm not a collector. I just love buying music that I love because I know I'm going to want to listen to it later. And I buy modern records too if I really love it. I'm just still very much in love with Sonic. So I remember after the Hard Believe It album came out in 2015 or 2016 or whenever it was, and the option was, and we had a hit on that record, Look at This Track Looking Too Closely, and it was kind of like, the temptation was there to be like, dude, all you need to do now is another one just like that, but slightly better, and everybody's a winner here, And I thought to myself, totally, I love the feeling of that Gemma check this time, so I'd like another one of those. But it wasn't in me to just tread water like that. I just couldn't do it. Yeah. And so my reaction to that was to make a blues concept album, an electronic Berlin drone wave record, and completely go the other direction. And the gold glisten. People like who maybe were raised on top 40, top 20, top 10 albums. What's number one? Did you make top 5? It's a different meal now. The streaming, the numbers, it's such a different world. Yeah. And you don't have a hit. How can I put this? You don't have a hit by saying, we're number 1 this week. Everybody needs to know that, so we've had a hit. You might do 100 million streams on Spotify, but only your fan base are going to know that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's not like...
Yeah, I do, absolutely.
I think that the fact that the playing field is now like wide open. There's space for everybody. It's almost like the music industry was like a tiny little island with a few key gatekeepers. And then the internet just means now it's like universe size. It's almost infinitely large. And there's space for everybody, but honestly, the cream still rises to the top. It's really difficult to make a living out of music if your music sucks.
Yeah.
And if you're the new Patti Smith, you're going to do fine. But you better be the new Patti Smith. You can't be like a photocopy of a pop version of a 90s through a 90s lens of Patti Smith. You need to have that punk spirit. And I still believe that. I still think that if you're an amazing kick-ass band that's making unique music, you're going to be fine once we get to tour again.
Hope to see you soon.
Yeah.
And I love you. Thanks very much.
Love you too, JD. Thanks, mate.
See you soon.
Ciao.
Bye.